It's Monday, so let's mint mask. I hope that you've had a good week. Tonight, I want to visit with you about a milestone in my personal life. Have you ever gotten that invitation from the court to come and spend a little time with them? No, not a subpoena. I'm talking about a jury summons. That little bit of sunshine that arrives in your mailbox, and you show up at your local courthouse at 9 o'clock, and you get piled into this big room with a bunch of people. And what's always fun is the first thing they do is explain to you some of the disqualifiers to allow you out of consideration. And you get to sit and listen or actually watch as people line up and go speak to the judge, hoping to talk their way out of possible jury duty. And then once they're done, the remainder of you are taken, your names are taken and put into a hopper, a digital hopper as it were, and they get spun around, and then they come in and they select 70 possible jurors. And typically what they'll do is after they've selected those 70, they let you go out and have lunch, and then you come back. And then you get to sit through, hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours worth of, got a little out of place there. Anyway, a couple of hours of questioning and polling and all that sort of thing while the two attorneys decide who they may want on the jury. All the while, most people, the vast majority of the people that I have ever seen, that I've ever sat around, don't want to be on the jury. They are put out. They are begging themselves to not be on the jury. But you know, in every group, there's always that guy. And in that group, do you want to know who the one person in the room is every time who wants to be on the jury? Who has longed all of their adult life to serve on a jury. And this person has gotten close. They've gotten inside the pool of 70. And if you really, really are going to have a chance at serving on a jury, you kind of have to be in the top 30. And this particular individual had done it on more than one occasion. And they remember once very clearly that they thought for sure they would be on the jury, only to be struck and disappointed once again. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Well, who is that person? Well, you've probably guessed it by now. I am that person. I am the person who sits in the room with you at every jury summons with fingers crossed, toes crossed, and hopes high that I will get chose to serve on a jury. Now, it's not because I've got an axe to grind. It's not because I think I am God's gift to the judicial system. But I'll tell you what it is. It's the opportunity to be a part of and to be my part of the social contract. You see, our nation is built on laws, and our nation has a government. And the beauty about the courtroom is this, is that a man or a woman can choose to not have an individual, a representative of the government, to make the final decision on their guilt or innocence. They can choose to have 12 of their peers to make that decision. Once they've heard all of the information and they've considered all the facts, then the 12 of their peers get to make that determination because they believe that those 12 will give them the fairest consideration. And I want you to know, it was the greatest joy to serve on that jury. It was a difficult case. It was a difficult decision. I'm not going to lie to you. But as I walked out of that courthouse, I thought to myself, I have been a part. And I want to leave this thought with you. The next time you get that summons to be there, and yes, it's inconvenient, and yes, you're going to miss work and all those things. Yes, I get it. But take this thought with you, is someday your life might be interrupted, just like the people on the other side of that bench are interrupted. They are in that courtroom because their lives have been completely disrupted. And for whatever reason, they have decided that they want 12 people to help them find whatever peace, justice, or rightness that would come out of the chaos that brings them together. And they're trusting you to do it. And so the next time you go to a jury summons, think of this. If you were the person on the other side of that bar, what would you want your 12 people to be thinking? How grossly inconvenienced they are? Or do you want them thinking, I owe this to my fellow American, and it is my privilege to give them the justice as best as possible in this wonderful country of ours? So it's just a thought for you, my friends. A part of the social contract, what a joy. We need each other. We must lean on each other. We depend on each other, because if we don't have each other, my friends, we have nothing. I want to thank you, as always, for your most precious gift, your time. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I hope I'll see you here next week for Mint Mask with a message.